I have got a room here that I wish to cool off, and I made a program for this room. I will try to explain this to you. Now, I have got a start button here, and when pressed, it will engage my cooling system. And when will it engage? It will engage if the room temperature is above zero. For now, we accept that the room temperature is above zero. If room temperature is above zero, the analog sensor here will detect it and engage the cooling system there. We assumed it was a fan, or you can place the chiller system or a big air conditioner. This fan is engaged, and when this engine startup, thus the cool down operation takes place, of course, when this happens, we expect the temperature to decrease slowly. The temperature will decrease slowly, and I have got a counter here that shows how long this process will take. Except that I have got other start and stop buttons here, and I have already programmed these in the side, and I will explain them to you. Look, now when I press the start button, you will see in a minute M40.0 roll is engaged, and later it shuts down. And if my sensor here is closed, I am talking about the M30.0 here, if that is closed, what does that mean? Look, it engaged here, M40.0 engaged, and if my MD8 here, what was MD8? If I come here, MD8 was actually my sensor's value, which measures the cool off process here. And if it can detect a value that is below 0, if it detects a value bigger than 0, what does it do? I have placed a compare command here. If MD8 is bigger than 0, what it does is it passes through here, and the energy comes to MD30 here, and it will, with MD30, Q00 and Q01 will also be pulled, and consequently the fan here is engaged and the lamp here is lit. I will tell you like this. What does M30.0 do? Look, when it shuts down, the counter starts counting. We can see the value of the counter here, and simultaneously the temperature drops. When the temperature has dropped, what do you think will happen? This time, these disengage, and you can think of the system like that. If you wish to stop the system, you can stop the system using the stop button right here. Let me start up and we will see it work. Look, of course there are some differences here. There are differences between the software I wrote and this one. To get rid of them, I will load the program again. I have sent the program to the PLC, and I can't see any problems now. Now let's try to zoom out a little bit. Let's zoom out more. And we can't fit the whole thing here, so this is the best we can do. This will have to do. Now let's zoom in. Here folks, I will start up the simulation. Look, I will start the simulation here, and after I start up my simulation, we will see what happens. There are different values here. Look, there I can see the values inside MD8. Let me pull that down a little bit, or pull it up, it doesn't matter much. I put the program into run mode. The temperature here is around 18 centigrade degree, yet I can't see any fan working, because we didn't engage the system. I am pressing start and look, the cooler system is engaged. The cooling system didn't engage the fan because I have told it do not open the fan if the temperature is below 0. Now look, the temperature is decreasing slowly. Let's let it decrease slowly. Let's decrease the temperature like that. As you can see, when the temperature drops below 0, the system worked again. Look, I will press the stop button here. I'm pressing the stop button and I will let the temperature to rise again. As the temperature rises, no system will engage because the system is at stop because I pressed the stop button. Now, this is a permanent type of stop and I will press it again in order to release it. Let's do something like this. Let's pull our temperature below 0 and see what happens. Look, the temperature is below 0 and I am pressing start and no system is engaged. That's because the temperature is below zero. Look, when temperature rises above zero, as you can see, the fan stepped in and I'll drop the temperature like that. The fan engages, and I am dropping the temperature like that. What happened? The fan has stopped. When I press stop like that, I stopped the cooling system. And I can't press start now because my stop button here is locked. I would normally have to release it, and just like that, I started the system again, we can use it. And like that, the temperature is rising again, and you see the temperature is rising again. And the timer, look, that timer shows you how long the cool down process will take place. It will show you how long the cool down process will take. We have told you what our scenario is, and here we have specified that we are trying to cool this room off. Now, let's start the system up. Like that. I have put my system in run mode, as you can see, and the temperature is above zero now. And because of that, the fan here, you see, engaged, and I have to drop the temperature. As we wrote here, our program is ready. This is especially important for beginners who wish to learn PLC. With these simulations and simulators, you will be able to understand the job much more easier. Let's give a short summary. Now, we have got a room here. We are trying to keep this room below 0 centigrade degree. We have already prepared our software, and I will not underline the software again. I am trying to keep this room below 0. Look, here there's a timer. I wish to see how long the cool off process will take, and on the other hand I have got an analog sensor here, and with this analog sensor I will control the system. I have got start and stop buttons. When I press start, the system engages, and if the room temperature is above zero, if all the information coming through the sensor is above zero, it engages this fan here and it engages the cooling system, which will cool off the room. After all, you know what this cooling system is. It could be a chiller, a fan, an air conditioner, or something different. This cooling system engages, and with that lamp, which shows the system situation, it will light up. I am simulating an analog sensor here, and consequently the room temperature decreases slowly, and when it is equal to 0, the fan here stops. My stop button here is a permanent stop. When pressed, it locks down, and you need to press it again in order to release it. Now, let's do it like this. Look, my room temperature should be over 0 now. From there, I will put the system to run mode. There, run mode is active now. And because my room temperature is 21 centigrade degree, my system is engaged rapidly. I press the stop button now and the system has come to a complete stop. Look, I pressed the permanent stop button again. To release it, I will press it again. And pressing start now. Look, the fan engaged and you see the cooling system working now. Consequently, we can see the temperature decrease slowly. Let's cool it off manually. Let's do it. The temperature shall decrease slowly. Look, what happened when the temperature decreased below 0? My fan stopped, but the system keeps running, as you can see. Now, let's do something like this. Let's set the room temperature is below 0. Look, the room temperature is below 0 now. Let's push the button first, and now I am pressing start, and because the room temperature is below 0, my system here won't engage. As you can see, because the room temperature is below 0 here, my system won't engage. What will happen? Let's say the room has a door, and someone opened the door, and because the isolation was bad, the interior warmed up slowly. I am slowly warming the room, and now, see what happened? When the temperature rised above 0, the cooling system engaged, and our room is cooling off now. This example is over, see you soon.